and really just kind of thinking about the overall experience of what someone would feel and interpret as they're, getting to know Just Fred. It's super important to me that experience and that authenticity, shines through. And that's something through all of my years in advertising and creating film content has been really important to the core of storytelling and brand experience.
Welcome to the Wear, Wag, Repeat podcast. I'm Tori Mystic. As a dog mom lifestyle expert, blogger, and business owner, I love talking to other women in the pet industry and sharing their advice with you every week. Sit, stay, and listen to the latest episode. In this episode, I'm talking to Tennille Teague, who has recently launched a cruelty-free pet accessories brand called Just Fred. With a background in advertising and film production, Tennille brings her visual communication style to the brand. She shares some great examples of how to write product descriptions in a visual way to elicit an emotional response from potential customers. I'm going to implement this advice on my own website right away. Tennille also shares how she's simplified inventory management and fulfillment with strategic partners, and she reveals what has surprised her in growing this new brand. If you'd like to connect with other women entrepreneurs who are passionate about making a difference in the lives of pets through their businesses, consider joining Wear, Wag, Repeat Society. This monthly membership is a supportive and inclusive community that also provides built-in accountability to help you reach your pet business goals through monthly lessons, co-working, and more. See if this membership is right for you at wearwagrepeat.com/society. Tennille Teague is a style-conscious advertising executive who was tired of the lack of options in products for her dogs. She wanted something that not only had elevated style, but was also cruelty-free. Many of the high-end pet brands that she found were using leather to create some of their products, but Tennille really wanted a cruelty-free and fashion-forward option. Through this passion, she founded the new Brooklyn-based pet accessories brand, Just Fred. Now, she creates cruelty-free accessories for the coolest canines around the globe. Her products are also providing direct support and love for senior dogs who just haven't had a fair shake. Hi, Tennille.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Excited to chat.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear all about your new brand and sort of the story behind it. So did you always want to be an entrepreneur, or did this just kind of happen by accident?
I think I've always probably had that inside me, that kind of fighting spirit to want to kind of like try new things and be to try new things and kind of always kind of bring new ideas to the world. With an advertising background of a film producer, I'm always bringing other people's ideas to life. So it was really exciting to kind of bring my own idea to life. So I think that was always brewing in some capacity inside me.
Yeah. Well, and it's also probably really fun because I imagine in your day job capacity, you're working with teams and other people's ideas. So it's kind of fun to have control over everything on your own project.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm so intrigued about your other work that you do in the advertising world. How has that experience, or is there any stories that you can pinpoint that maybe have helped you in creating your new brand, Just Fred?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, through creating commercials and brand experiences, I've always been really in the trenches of bringing brand ideas to life. And so that was a really great foundation to envision what Just Fred was going to be. And really just kind of thinking about the overall experience of what someone would feel and interpret as they're, getting to know Just Fred. It's super important to me that experience and that authenticity, shines through. And that's something through all of my years in advertising and creating film content has been really important to the core of storytelling and brand experience.
I just love that term storytelling. And I think it's so important for all of us in the pet space because, we all are so passionate about what we do. And I think everyone in this industry is doing something to try and help make pets' lives better. But if
Yeah.
you can't communicate it clearly, then you kind of hit a wall of what you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I was looking through your website and you just have such great language that really, I think I can get the vibe of your brand from the words that you're using. So
Thank you.
how do you like to use storytelling? Is it just written word or do you work with video a lot for your other job, but do you use a lot of video for Just Fred?
Yeah, I'm a very visual person, so I find that storytelling through photos and video is something that's super compelling. There's an emotional connection to it that you can't make up. There's an authenticity to that. So I'm really focused on the visual language that we put out there for Just Fred. And then also from a writing aspect, just writing in a very visual way, I think is really important as well. Just kind of thinking like how people can take those words and really see what you're trying to share with them.
That's so interesting. I've never thought about that. Can you give some examples of how you write in a visual way?
Yeah, I mean, like an example would be when we talk about our leashes. Our leashes are not they're not created so you don't lose your dog. It's so you don't lose each other. And there's something about that just the way that that's phrased to me explains the intention more behind the product and the lifestyle with it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Just hearing you say that, like that short phrase, it does elicit an emotional response, which I guess is the goal, right?
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully people would connect with something like that.
Yeah. So as a potential customer or maybe a returning customer is going through your website, what do you want them to feel? What do you want their experience to be like?
Yeah, I want them to feel like it's a safe place, and I want them to feel that there's a very inclusive nature to our brand. We really are huge supporters of everyone feeling welcome. Even when I think of, it's a little bit strange or different right now during COVID times, but when you walk into a store, you can immediately feel if you feel welcome or if you feel a little bit ignored. And I always want to avoid the latter. I always want our customers to feel that empathy and warmth and caring that we have for everyone that, discovers or, experiences the brand. So that feeling is important to us. I think also creative inspiration, just like, kind of starting to see dog accessories in a little bit more bright and, playful manner, just trying to kind of have that storytelling play in bold colors and that inspiration, I think is also super fun for people to feel that energy.
So one of your core products, I guess that's integral to your brand is the dog carrier bag. Can you tell us a little bit more about, what are the core products, I guess, that make up Just Fred? Since it is new, you don't have like hundreds of things, nor do you need that. But what are kind of the core elements or the core products of your brand?
Yeah, I think our tote bags are probably what we're most known for. And those are built in two different styles. And the intention is for kind of the weekend experience with your pup where you're out and about and it's built in a way where they're just kind of with you on your side. And then we have another option that has more of an enclosed approach to the carrier, which you would use more if you are traveling on a plane or things of that nature. So the totes are one thing that we've built that are cruelty free, which is a big, part of our mission, as well as they have a very sturdy bottom, which helps ensure comfort and confidence for the dog, which I've always found when I was experiencing carriers before I built these ones, that when my pups paws would push through the bottom of the carrier, there was like a little bit of like an uneasy feeling that they weren't as balanced or stable. And so ensuring that stability builds confidence in the bag, which I think is a super important, aspect of a dog being carried high above ground. So that's one thing. And then we also are into collars and leashes and harnesses. Our harnesses are built in a way where you don't have to put them over the dog's head. A lot of dogs obviously don't really feel comfortable with that, or certain dogs have larger heads and it's not very comfortable. So our harnesses are a step-in type of approach that just kind of clips around the chest. And then last but not least, we have some really fun pouches for the waist bags and hoodies, and then also enamel pins that can be used to decorate any of our accessories or bags. So lots of, variety. We're looking forward to bringing out a toy. That's this rubber toy that's coming out quite soon, as well as some more apparel as well.
Oh, awesome. And I love how it all ties together. And I love what you were saying about having a really solid, stable bottom for the bag, for the carrier, so that the dogs feel confident. And then the same thing with the harness, like having them feel more confident and safe and comfortable putting it on. I just saw someone post on Instagram yesterday about the training progress their dog was making with putting something over their head. And I've never had that problem. It didn't even occur to me before. But apparently that's something that a lot of dogs struggle with. So was that based on like a personal experience, or how did you even think to do that?
My two pups are pretty okay with it, but I've seen friends' dogs feel a little bit apprehensive. And you always want them to feel that it's a joy to have the harness put on, because that probably means that they're going on an adventure with you. So that kind of triggered something in my mind when I saw friends' dogs having, certain friends' dogs having a little bit of that nervousness with it being applied over their head. We also apply it to our hoodie. We have extra snaps around the neck, which again allows it to be expanded quite wide, which helps with dogs with larger heads, or again, dogs that just don't really like that feeling of something being put so confining over their head.
Yeah. Well, with my dogs, at least, especially Lucy, since she's an English lab, she has that very thick neck.
Yeah.
She's got neck rolls. And so if I ever put like a sweater or something on her, it's like she's got too much neck. So
yes.
Something like that, snaps would be helpful in a lot of different situations.
I love that. Neck rolls for miles.
Yes. Yeah. So I love that you also, that you work with and support senior dogs. Both my dogs are seniors now, they're 9 years old. But Bert, when I rescued him, they said he was 6 or 7. And in the rescue world, that counts as a senior. And Bert was very unadoptable for a lot of reasons, but I'm glad no one else adopted him so I could have him. But I know that, adopting out senior dogs is hard. So, is there a dog that inspired you to work with seniors, and why is this such an important cause to you?
Yeah, I have a lot of empathy for the pups that just, they're overlooked due to their age and conditions. And it happens more times than I think any of us would like to realize. And so it's not, I got Mo when he was a bit younger, and Rizzo, I adopted at around age 7, but I had already been in the start of Just Fred. So it's not a personal experience with any of my dogs per se, but it's just the observation I've had through volunteering at shelters, and through just kind of also seeing the conversations around when people are selecting a dog, leaning towards that puppy more times than maybe we would hope. So just kind of, really trying, I guess my main effort and my main goal with Just Fred is really helping raise awareness and comfortability, if that's a word, around the adoption of older dogs. Just, just kind of understanding that, there's so much opportunity there and so many positive things.
And do you ever use senior dogs in some of your dog model photo shoots?
I sure do. And I have a photo shoot coming up that we're going to have 2 senior dogs in. So really excited for that.
Is it harder or easier to work with senior dog models versus puppies?
I would say much easier. There's so much more calm, right?
I would agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, that's really great. And is there a particular senior rescue or nonprofit that you want to kind of shout out here?
Yeah, well, we partner with 3. We partner with Susie Seniors, Foster Dogs, and the Mr. Mo Project. And all of them have senior dog initiatives, as we know. And so we're really big supporters of those 3. We also have adoptable senior dogs on our website. And we feature other dogs from other shelters beyond those 3 as well.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. I love anything that raises awareness for senior dogs. I've seen so many people with like younger families who want a dog so bad and they get a puppy and it's just like having another kid. It's so much work.
Yeah.
So I think if they were to rescue seniors instead, there might be less dogs returned to the shelter, and it could just really help a lot of people and pets.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I love that. So Just Fred, right, currently is sort of a side hustle for you. How do you juggle that? How do you juggle a demanding career with a growing business on the side?
Yeah, I'm a really early riser. So, and I don't know what it is, but something inside me just wants to be up very early. So
What time do you get up?
About 4.
Oh my gosh, that's very early.
I know. It's a very weird trait, but there's something about before the sun rises that I feel very clear-headed and very focused. So I work on Just Fred in the morning. And then once my day starts in advertising, then I shift gears and I give my full focus there. And then in the evening, sometimes I'll work on some more Just Fred, but it just kind of depends on the day.
And do you have some helpers with you in the business, or do you do everything yourself?
Yeah, I have a great team. I have a partner that works with our PR and social media, and then also a financial partner and some other just assistants that are also working on the brand. So we've got a great team of all female led positions that are really contributing to Just Fred.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And I'm always kind of curious with people, because when I started my very small online store, one of the biggest struggles to figure out was fulfillment. So, I see you nodding. So it's a struggle, I think, for everyone. So how do you guys handle that? And especially with COVID, it's been even harder. How do you guys do the fulfilling and how do you deal with your inventory and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's a great question. We work with this incredible kind of mom and pop fulfillment center on the West Coast, and we were one of their first clients, and they are a fantastic resource and support. It has been seamless, and I can't say enough good things about bringing that into the business. We launched with them as a partner, but I can't imagine it any other way.
Yeah, that's really neat. I haven't heard too many people using a fulfillment partner like that. So that's so smart, because it is one of the hardest parts.
It is. One of the things that I really pride ourselves on is the experience of unboxing when you buy something from Just Fred. And they're just so detail oriented with how they pack the packaging and that thoughtful detail of I send individual notes that they help with, and just things of that nature that if it was a larger fulfillment center, we probably wouldn't have that personalized care as much, I would guess. So it's been really wonderful.
Yeah. So you send over like personal notes for each order, and they put them in the boxes.
Yeah. I send them. I email them what I'd like it to say. Yeah.
Wow, that is really, really great. Yeah. Such an attention to detail. And so, okay, so I feel like we sort of glossed over the whole cruelty-free vegan aspect of Just Fred. We mentioned that, it was important to you to do that, but why did you think it was so important to have a cruelty-free pet accessories brand?
Yeah, I just really believe that as we purchase things and consider things for our loved, domestic partners, I sometimes like to call them, because they really kind of are in our lives. I mean, they sleep in our beds and we probably feed them breakfast before we make ourselves breakfast. They travel with us, they really are a true partner in crime. And I feel like when we shop for them and when we provide products, they shouldn't be made with animals. I feel like there are other alternatives out there, and it's a place that we can make a difference. And it's also important to me, though, that even though our products are vegan, that we're pushing them to be of the highest quality.
Mm-hmm.
It's important that quality still is maintained, even though we're not using a leather product.
And something that you have is like a PETA seal of approval. How
Yeah.
do you obtain that?
Yeah, so you submit information about your business to PETA, and then they review everything and the materials and what you are, contributing to your business, and hopefully you get approved. And we were lucky enough to. So it's a great partnership.
Yeah, that's definitely a really great thing to have on your website. I think it just
Yeah.
makes people excited to see that kind of affiliation.
It's great to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool. So here's kind of an interesting question. Is there anything as you've grown Just Fred, as you've grown your business, that has surprised you?
Yeah, I would say it's been interesting to kind of see where our customers are really coming from, and so that's been something that I find extremely fascinating to study. Just those patterns and understanding and trying to just really like get to know them as much as possible. I've found that we're much more prominent in urban centers than I even imagined. So that's been a really interesting learning. I also think that it's been interesting to kind of think through, even when you're working with social media, what is really receiving a response and what are people feeling a connection to, and kind of seeing those patterns has been something that I've been noticing.
Yeah, it's so important. I think that we're always on this like hamster wheel of create. And you really have to slow down and stop creating for a minute and just kind of see if there's any patterns that emerge. It's so important to do that.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because keeping up with the social media and everything, I think people get so wrapped up in it. And the people listening to this show and the people who I interview, very rarely is social media our actual business.
Mm-hmm.
We do many other things. And so, focusing on product development or, marketing or something like that, outside of just social media, can grow your business more than just doing more and more Instagram posts.
It's so true. It's so true. Yeah, having that discipline to really kind of focus on those things, because sometimes they're the things that aren't as easy.
Mm-hmm.
There's kind of an instant reflex to think like it's more approachable to create more Instagram posts. Like that just feels something that's more comfortable, maybe that we're used to. But the kind of taking a step back and taking the time to absorb and understand your brand even more is something that that discipline is important.
Yeah, definitely. So you mentioned that you are working on some new apparel and some new products.
Mhm.
Thinking even beyond ahead of that, do you have a big dream or goal, like a 3 or a 5-year goal for Just Fred?
Yeah, I mean, I really want to be able to have as big a presence as possible with helping senior dogs and really pushing the needle for the desire for cruelty-free products in this space. And I think as far as the business as a whole, I'd love to be able to to grow it into multiple products and even build a community around the Just Fred world. We've been exploring options where we would partner with outdoor cycling centers, where maybe there would be a Just Fred kind of lounge where you could bring your pup to hang out while you do a class. We've been having like kind of some of those conversations that feel, like part of what our thinking is about including your pup in your journey and, kind of having them through more of your daily routine versus being at home. So kind of just helping build that is a big kind of initiative I see for the future.
That is one of my dreams, to be able to take the dog to the gym with me, because, it's like either you walk the dog or you go to the gym. It's hard to find time in the day to do both. So that I think you should definitely do that. Personally, I might have to move to Brooklyn to take advantage of it.
There you go.
But I'm willing to do that.
Amazing. I love it. So, well, I'll meet you when you get off the train.
Yes. Yeah. Please come pick us up and take us straight to spin class. Yeah.
Perfect. I love it.
So unfortunately, wrapping up here, I just have one last question, which is, do you have any tools or apps or resources that you just like can't live without to run your business?
Yeah. I mean, I have a few. I mean, Slack and Trello are things that I use quite often. I've been dabbling in Sunsama, that kind of task app that I've found is really interesting, just kind of helping you focus on specific tasks for your day and kind of bringing a little bit more of calm mental awareness around your planning. And I would say last but not least, I really lean on Dropbox. I kind of feel like just having that integrated between my computer and my phone is, a huge game saver as you just kind of are working back and forth.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I could live without Dropbox.
Right?
Yeah, it's so essential, especially as you're doing many things and maybe, out walking your dog and you want to post something, you can easily get to everything. So that's important.
It really is.
So Tennille, it's really great talking to you and learning about all that you're doing. And I just love your passion for senior dogs. And I'm excited to see all that you're working on in the future. Where can people go online to learn more about Just Fred or find you on social media?
Yeah, it's just-fred.com for our website. And our Instagram is justfredny. We are changing it to Just Fred in a couple weeks, but
cool.
Yeah. So I'll just say that one more time. It's our Instagram handle is Just Fred.
Okay, good. Yeah, everyone look for Just Fred. Or I will be on the day that this comes out, I will be posting on Wear, Wag, Repeat, and I'll link up everything there as well. So thank you, Tennille, so much for your time today. It was such a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. Same here.
What did you like most about this episode? Find me on Instagram @TMystic and let me know what intrigued you or what questions you have about starting or growing your own dog-inspired business. You can also screenshot this episode and tag me in your stories. I love to see who is listening out there. Some of the best conversations happen after the episode, right? So track me down over on Instagram or join the Wear, Wag, Repeat Labs Facebook group to connect with other dog-obsessed entrepreneurs. And as always, you can find all the links and resources discussed in this episode at wearwagrepeat.com/podcast. See you back here next week.